not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening tonight, 9:30 Central Time? I'm here live sharing some important information with y'all. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States with a physical office in Houston, Texas, helping you secure your legal status to live and work in America legally. Okay, so you're welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You can ask a question in the chat box down below. Go ahead and just drop your question down below. What I usually do is go through a topic of the evening or during the day, and I'm happy to answer your questions. It's a big topic tonight, okay, folks. Several of y'all have been asking me the past couple weeks about this new thing that President Biden is considering to talk about, and it's a parole in place. Parole in place already exists, fortunately, for military members, but there's an expected announcement for this coming Tuesday, right on the heels of DACA, when it was originally created, I believe, at least 12 years ago. 2012, actually. So, and that was when President Biden was VP under President Obama. So, let's talk a little bit more about this. If you have questions about this or anything else, of course, drop it in the comment section. All right. Now, if you're wondering, like, oh, well, how come now magically? Like, why are they now considering this? Because it's about politics. Anything immigration related is about politics. There's just no way around it. Number one, if it had to go through Congress, it has to get the requisite votes. And unfortunately, when President Biden took the oath January 20th in 2021, that plan failed. So at this point, he finally realized, hey, former President Trump's already been convicted of 34 counts of federal charges. It's time to take action. So obviously, the election is at play. Okay. So he feels more comfortable that he can do something like this. Now, for those people that are like, especially those conservative folk, they're like, oh, he's just opening the border. No, these are for people who are in the United States. And in fact, President Biden had just signed an executive order earlier. I can't remember if it was earlier this week or last week to make it very difficult for people who are seeking asylum to actually cross into the United States and apply for asylum. So with that being said, this new version of parole in place, this potential additional option of parole in place does not currently exist, okay? All right, just want to make that clear. But we just want to share with y'all that this is most likely going to happen on Tuesday. All right, so like Monica just asked this question, like, how do we begin this process? It doesn't exist yet. So as soon as it becomes effective, we'll let you know. So even though it will be, now I say likely, I mean, there's a CBS, shout out to Camilo, journalist Camilo from CBS News, who shared this. He is from CBS News. He's like the main journalist for immigration news. And he just dropped this 7:21 p.m. tonight. So I figured, hey, I got some time. Family's asleep. Let me go live, share this information with y'all. So if my voice is a little raspy, it's because I've been working all day. All right, hope you all doing well tonight. Let me know where you're watching from. Drop it in the comments if you don't mind. By the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome again. My name is John Ting. Go ahead and give it a follow if you appreciate this news. Always love talking about anything immigration. Love to share the problems, unfortunately, because there's so many immigration problems that exist. And one of the main problems currently is something that President Biden is trying to solve. All right. And that is people who are in the United States right now and are married to someone and been living in the United States for more than 10 years and are stuck. And this program, this new potential program, can benefit people who are need to file a waiver, who have filed a waiver already, but knowing that the processing times of the waiver can take right now. The processing time it shows. Let me share my screen right here. I can only share on YouTube and Facebook. But here we go. Okay, let me switch screens here. Okay, there we go. So this shows 43 months for the 601A application. That's ridiculous. Before the pandemic, these application was taking about 8 months, which is great. Now we're like, sorry, client, you're just gonna have to hang out for 4 years of your life, 3 to 4 years. It's ridiculous. So fortunately, with this new potential program of military, I mean not military, parole in place for couples, married couples, this should solve that problem. Okay. Now, of course, keep in mind, folks, if you have a certain crime, not saying any crime, but certain crimes will rule you, unfortunately, not eligible. As of right now, just having like one DWI does not necessarily mean you're going to be knocked out, okay, from applying for something like this. Um, but this is where you definitely want to speak to a lawyer and licensed immigration attorney, okay? Because a lot of people are going to see this news, even other attorneys who don't practice immigration on a day-to-day basis will probably think, oh, let me start accepting calls and see if I can get some immigration clients. Like you, I recommend obviously you contact someone who understands the context of immigration and history and politics, which you might want to consider our team, Team Law Group, Green Card Guys Law Group, okay, is very important because someone could accidentally say that, yeah, something is available, but no, it's not available right now. Military parole in place currently exists, okay, where the sponsors are military members and they're sponsoring the family members. But right now, what I'm sharing with you is does not currently exist, but it's in the pipeline. I believe it will come out announcement on Tuesday. All right, we'll keep you updated. We'll share like community posts on YouTube or posts in general to keep you updated. Okay. Um, Let me share my screen again. There was a couple things here. At least I can share on YouTube and Facebook. I'm sharing on background on TikTok. This is the real deal, okay? This is a journalist from CBS News, Camila Montoya Galvez, dropped this news at 7:21 p.m. It's not new. It's been going on for a couple weeks, but just based on how he phrased it, it seems way more intentional that this is going to happen. Okay. Okay, so essentially, there's a policy to help obviously offer legal status. Now, it's not straight for residency. With pro in place, you have to, as the program is exists right now. Okay, you have to apply a 131 application to the local field office. Okay, so if they do this, if the Biden administration is able to get this through, which I'll explain in more detail how this will happen, okay, because it's been done before, essentially, you have to currently apply for the 131 form to the local field office. That will be problematic, okay, because we all know, if y'all been following our channel right here at Green Card Guys TV, y'all know United States government, even though they're number one world superpower, we're hella slow. Okay, we're hella slow about anything. Sorry, if you're a government worker, thank you so much for your work in the public sector, but y'all hella slow. Okay, and especially with immigration. Okay, I mean, fortunately, marriage cases who are in the United States eligible for AOS, it's much faster, 3 to 5 months. Okay, but other than that, y'all hella slow. All right, so the other scenario that this will help we talked about earlier, people who would need to apply for a waiver normally, okay, for unlawful presence, all right, but also people who they would be stuck. Like if they had to go through consular processing, even if after they apply for a waiver, got approved for that, there are people that are stuck outside the United States, even after a waiver has been approved. And maybe depending on because of the country, unfortunately, the nationality of that immigrant, hate to say, But it's the truth. The United States government tends to slow down cases processing of people who are from the Middle East. I'm sure I'm not the only one that said this, okay? I'm sure I'm not. So with that being said, if now with this new pro in place for married couples can finish the process, get the residency in the United States, okay? Now please know there's a lot of requirements. That's why when this is becomes effective, give us a call, okay? Go ahead and give us a follow right here or subscribe down below, all right? So that when it does become effective, because I mean, if y'all schedule a meeting now, I mean, and you're not eligible for anything else, we don't have like concrete information. All right, let's just open the door, share a bit of information right now. I think I need to turn off this light. Okay, just sharing a bit information right now, so y'all have an idea. This is coming down the pipeline. All right, but it's not concrete. So if you'll schedule a meeting right now, even if you pay a three-digit consultation, you're not going to get much information other than what I'm sharing right now. All right. So, but I do expect something to come down on Tuesday. So yeah, the people who are stuck abroad, unfortunately, on consular processing, they're kind of stuck in a black hole, is what we call it. The swamp is what I call it. Quicksand, unfortunately, because it's something called 221G, and there's no requirement of the government to say, hey, they need to get this processed much quickly. The security background check. There's no incentive for them other than we file a mandamus lawsuit at a unreasonable time period. Okay. All right, now let's see what else I wanted to share on that. Yeah, so that could potentially help. I mean, the estimated number of undocumented immigrants in the United States is they say 12 million. Have somehow the government has that kind of data. Of course, go figure. But that doesn't mean all 12 million are going to be married to someone. I mean, y'all know it's difficult to find the right match, even for y'all that are currently married. By the way, if you're married, whether to a U.S. citizen or not, drop in the comments if you don't mind. Share with the community here how long you've been married. Want to congratulate y'all, okay? Because y'all know it's not easy. All right, so let's see here. Let me go ahead and answer some questions. Thanks for tuning in. I can go on and on. Oh, sorry. I'll share one more thing, okay? Because you might wonder, like, well, if they announce it on Tuesday, does that mean like it's going to start Tuesday? No, not necessarily. I don't expect it to actually start on Tuesday. Okay, because I remember when DACA was announced by President Obama in 2012, June 15th, 2012, I believe. Um, it didn't start that day. Yeah, it didn't start that day, but they did have a requirement that you had to be in the U.S. on that day or earlier. Okay. Um, I don't think it actually became effective until like a couple months later, and the reason why is because of something called a federal rulemaking. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen on YouTube and Facebook here about this. All right, rulemaking process. And it allows people in the public to comment about this potential program, whether for it or against it, or give some kind of information, their feedback, essentially. Now, long story short, does the government actually have to, the agency, like in this situation, Department of Homeland Security, actually have to listen to your comments? They're supposed to read the comments. I've known an attorney who's had to read comments, so it's quite interesting the perspective. But that doesn't necessarily mean they need to take into account your comment in that sense. All right. Um, but how it usually works is either 30 days after they publish that proposed rule. Okay, let's say if this pro in place for couples, it could be for 30 days or 60 days. Typically, from what I've seen, it's 60 days. And after that comment period has ended, closed, okay, you got to give the government agency time to review the comments, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then Congress has to sign off on it. Interesting, huh? Okay. The only way it can get vetoed essentially is if both the Senate and the House of Reps overrule it, essentially. Apparently, this PDF here, this document said that the last time that happened was like 1996, I believe, which is quite surprising. So, with that being said, it's interesting timing wise, right? That President Biden has is about to potentially announce this, but it's all about timing, finding the right time. So I don't know. Is it coincidence that this is after President Trump was convicted of 34 federal counts? You let me know in the comments. All right. All right. Now let me answer some questions. I thank you so much for waiting patiently. Hey, what's up, Elaine Francis from Jamaica? Um, Another Akua Pinoy. Are you Filipino? Filipina from Virginia. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. All right. So let's see here on Gustavo Matthews. I just pulled up to your comment. Yes, that's right. Married to a U.S. citizen. I'm not sure if they're going to include married to a resident, so that will be interesting. That will definitely open the door way more, of course, make it way more expansive. But we'll see. As far as the information I've seen so far, it said U.S. citizen, not resident. So we'll see. Okay. So again, if you are just now joining for the first time and you're interested in our legal services, or maybe you're not, but you have questions and you want legal answers, or a third option, if you're interested in a webinar, okay, you're just wondering like what are different options, okay, go to the link down below on YouTube, Facebook, or on TikTok. You can click the plus sign, follow now, and then you can go to the link after the show. Okay. All righty. There's several options there for you there. All righty. Let's see. So, oh, Aditi, your case is so delayed. When did you file your case, and what application? Which application? And by the way, on TikTok, for some reason, it hides some people's comments. So if it did that to you, you're wondering where the hell it went. Don't worry. I can see it and I'll approve it, because I don't know why they hide it. At least they're trying. I guess they're trying to be proactive. Let's see. Anand, yes. I don't. I think I mentioned this. Maybe I don't. Maybe I did. So Anand, this new policy is intended currently, as the reports I've seen, it sounds like you read it too, that this is for people who have been living in the United States for at least 10 years and also married to, from what I understand, currently only a U.S. citizen. Okay. Now, something else I wanted to mention is, does this mean you have to be married to that person when or on the day that it becomes effective or whatnot? If it was like DACA, then no, not necessarily. Okay. Anything related to timing per se with DACA was more about when you were living in the United States at the time that the program was effective or announced. Okay. So hopefully that shows a little distinction there for you. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, my little kiddo just woke up. Let's stay on track here. Does it apply to people who, with asylum, BIA appeal, and living from 2014? So, you said from 2014. That part residency might work, but in terms of people who have an order of removal, Um, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Since it's not concrete, hasn't been officially announced. We'll see. There is that prosecutorial discretion memo that does state in there that if you have some kind of petition, essentially, if some kind of opportunity to get residency, that they will reopen cases. But the reality currently, the past several years under Biden administration, is that it's very difficult because they are not prioritizing those cases. So even though they may have like a long list of 10 different scenarios, number one, they're more proactive on the cases that are active, that are open, versus the cases that are closed. However, we have received responses from Department of Homeland Security attorneys on situations where a case has been closed, they will review the file. So, for example, if you're like, well, this is amazing. Let's try this. Let's get this reopened. Okay, we'll take a look. But now our new workflow has included now to review your past files. So it will take time. If you want us to look at it, we'll look at it. But they're most likely currently do not want to reopen a case and dismiss it for those who have lied. Okay. If you've been found not credible by a judge. Okay. That's one of the main criteria, essentially, by a judge. That's right, Tony. 10 years and married to a citizen. I'm not sure yet about resident, but not either. It's both requirements there. Watch it from Arizona. Cool, cool. By the way, if you mention, I see Janina May says that they have a she looks like she gender. You have a question. You don't have to tell me that. Just go straight to your question. Y'all are too nice. Don't worry. Just go straight to it. Sexy Jordan, your case is stuck and you have a lawyer that's doing nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. That tends to happen. Unfortunately, we hear that a lot. You always had your second. I mean, you already had your second interview. Okay, 71. Two interviews for 71. Whoa. That's when was the last interview for you, Sexy Jordan? Um now for y'all who have conditional residence status, CR, and it's been more than 3 years since you've had resident status in general, and your 71 still pending. If you think you have a good case for 71 for the conditions to be removed, and you're still married to that person, you need to seriously consider applying to become a U.S. citizen. Okay, you really need to consider it. Even if you think your English is not good, blah blah blah. Don't give yourself excuses. You just got to get it done. All right. But Sexy Jordan, we're happy to take a look at your file if you need a second opinion. All right. Now, look, I know there's some people, especially attorneys, don't like me, might not like me saying this, but look, if my legal status is on the line, I kind of think of it similar to a medical situation. Okay. If I'm about to go in for surgery, I want a second opinion, minimum, two opinions. Especially, I just saw a headline earlier today that something about someone died, unfortunately, or maybe I saw on TikTok, the husband died. Of course, it's TikTok news. Where else could it be from? Unfortunately, someone died because there was a misdiagnosis. So, I mean, I know people who are doctors, pharmacists, like, unfortunately, things happen, but because of that, you want a second opinion. So, same, nothing different than you're getting your legal status. It doesn't hurt. Like, I take no offense. If someone talks to us and they say they want to talk to someone else, that's cool. I mean, no hard feelings. You gotta make sure you want a second opinion, go for it. Because there are several people we have to say like you're not eligible. We would just hate for people to apply for something that you're not eligible for something and then get denied and then lose your money. I mean, and all that stress. Um, all right, so let's see. What about forgery? I don't think that's gonna cut it there, Igor Elgarda. But I mean, again, it's not concrete. Well, I don't know. You mean a state crime forgery? I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking federal. Let's see. Fierce Salon, Daniela. Did U.S. citizen married to Moroccan file for I-130 increase to 54 months approval time? So when it's a petition, if you're at the petition stage right now, then they don't look at the country of nationality. But 54 months married to U.S. citizen. Let me check this out real quick. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. Okay, I currently have on the screen for the 601 A time. Let me go to I-130. I'll select the option form category U.S. citizen filing for spouse. Okay, and I'll just click all service centers. Get processing time. It says 14.5 months. Fierce Alonso, Daniela, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, now if you're sponsoring like someone that's a category family preference, then yeah, that's gonna take a lot longer. Like especially for your if you're a U.S. citizen filing for your sibling. But for if you're a U.S. citizen filing for a spouse, 15 and a half months. Could it take longer? Certainly it could. But that's just what they say 80% of cases. Let's see here. Zuli, what about if you took voluntary departure and come back? That's potentially a permanent bar. I mean, I need no more facts. So, and of course, depends on timing. But yeah, when people say just come right back, essentially, just, I mean, I'm obviously inferring that you came right back. That person came right back without legal status. So, so it might not count, Zuli. But we'll see. We'll keep you updated on Tuesday. Okay. Even if the announcement does not come out on Tuesday, I'll be a little heartbroken, but we'll keep you updated, okay? So if you want those updates, go ahead and give it a follow, click the plus sign. And if you already follow us on TikTok, apparently you can see it won't be a plus sign up top. It'll be like a orange heart, I think. So if you want to join the team, the TikTok team, go ahead. Apparently I can notice y'all sooner. Hey, Gloria, thanks for the roses. 17 roses? Oh, that's amazing. That's so kind of you. I'll just pretend I have a bucket of roses right here. Alrighty. Zar, Gzar. All right, yo, I gotta mention this. Nina asked, "What's my skin routine?" Yo, this is fake. Okay, on YouTube and TikTok. I mean, YouTube and Facebook, you can see the real deal. I mean, I've got a lot of light here. The thing is bright. But on TikTok, this is fake. It's not real. I'll be real with y'all. It's fake. Um, Carla, if you're still on, great to see you. That's so cool. That's so cool. Hope you're all doing well. It's great to see you there. Isn't that crazy? Back when I was in Dallas, I was doing Know Your Rights workshops in person. Now I'm doing this TikTok social media thing. Let's see. Gzar asks, how will this affect DACA recipients? I mean, if anything, I would still, of course, continue renewing your DACA if you have it, because again, it's similar to people who have not applied for DACA before, they can't apply anymore. Um, so in case your DACA is about to expire now or like, within a month or two, I will still renew it, even if this is coming down the pipeline. And even if it's announced, because you just never know what could happen to it. So just keep whatever you got going on now, just keep that going. Okay. But ultimately the intent of this program has not been announced yet officially, is that it's for people who are married to US citizens. Okay. So look, I mean, if you haven't found the right match, there's no rush. Okay. I don't believe it would be a rule. I could be wrong. All right. But I don't believe it would be a rule to say that at the time this is announced that you have to be married to a US citizen or married to so and so. But what I do know, if it's similar to DACA, it will likely have something that says if it's announced on Tuesday, it could be something that similar to DACA is that when they made an announcement of on June 15, 2012 for DACA, that you had to show that you resided in you were in the US before that date. Okay. So you need some proof that you were here in the US on this day. Was today's June 14th, 15th, 16th, 18th, I guess. Will it be 18th, I believe, this Tuesday? Yeah, that's right. I had to check my calendar. All right. Oops. Oh, here. All right, Igor Matthias on YouTube. Your removal and got admin closed. You have an interview for your I-130. You have a son with your wife and lots of evidence. Okay, great. Typically, there's an interview when there's a case in removal proceedings, but your case is admin closed. So if your wife is a U.S. citizen, Igor Matthias, we recommend you file a motion to reopen and dismiss at the same time. Okay. All right. Because admin closure does not allow USCIS to approve a 485 that's based on marriage. It can approve, and this is all about jurisdiction, okay? Is what we call it. They can approve if it's based on U visa, for example, or T visa, but not for marriage based when the case is still at admin closed. It's kind of like thinking like is admin closed is basically like better than nothing, essentially. But getting your case dismissed from court is ideal, is the best case scenario, so you can get resident status. Okay, Igor. Hopefully that helps. I'm not sure if that answered your question. I guess your question is more about will you have an interview? Yeah, most likely. Um, Especially because you've been in removal proceedings before. But I could be wrong. Hey, if you get interview waived, that'd be great. All right, let's see. Chonkster mentioned, yes, give them legal status, let them contribute to the economy. So that's the thing, right? Like, y'all know them conservative folk are like, blah, 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 anti immigrant, Oklahoma, Florida, Texas. Oh my God. I think Iowa also may have passed something or about to pass something, anti immigrant law. Oh, it's frustrating, right? But they all know that if for some reason there is nothing like this to give you some kind of pathway to status, and if President Trump becomes president again and his underlings try to do something sneaky or just flat out, obviously out in the public open, like the travel ban on his first day of office, that it's not going to be good for the economy. It's going to be pretty freaking bad. Okay. Okay, I mean the I'm not an economist, obviously. I'm an immigration attorney, um, but I understand that we're in a stagflation. So y'all need to Google search that if you don't know. That means we're still spending money, which means immigrants are still spending money, boosting the economy, even though we're in this weird situation. And we all pay rent, we all pay mortgage because we all have to. I mean, most of us, God bless anyone who's homeless, of course, but I mean, a lot of us have to pay something to live, right? Whether it's tax, whatnot. So we are all contributing to society, to the economy, whether you have legal status or not. So you might as well get that freaking legal status, get that secure, and that's what we're here to help you with. Okay, even if you don't have the budget, okay, we'll help happy to point you in the right direction. So if you appreciate that, this our mindset, how we share information, go ahead and give us a subscribe down below or follow up top up here. Okay, cool. All right, let me answer some more questions. Jocelyn brought here at age 8, married a U.S. citizen. Congrats to you, have 2 kids. Double congrats. You've been waiting for 5 years for your green card. 5 years. And you're married to a citizen. I'm making a safe assumption that you have a waiver on file. Is that what you got going on? 601A? All righty, all righty. Let's see. Uh, don't worry, y'all. I am switching back and forth between platforms. And guess which platform I forgot to go live? My goodness. The IG. Sorry, IG folks. All right, Lucia, you did what? You have an I-130 back in 2013 approved, and now you're doing an I-824. Will it move faster? It parole? Yeah. I mean, because 824 sounds like Are you trying to, Lucia? This is for you, um, or anyone for anyone else. If you're like, have your petition, you marked that you're going to do consular processing abroad, but then you realize, oh, you're eligible for adjustment of status, but you realize that after you filed your petition, or you realize the reverse. Um, yeah, you can't just call in the hotline 1-800-375-5283. You just can't call and say, "Hey, I made a mistake. Can you switch it back to this other workflow process you'll have, internal workflow?" No, they don't. They don't do that. You got to pay them. Okay, there's a form 824. So, Lucia, if you got that situation that you need to get it back to America, maybe parole in place can just be beneficial to you. Okay, we'll see. I'm happy to learn more information about your case. So, by the way, if you're still on, thank you so much. If you're just now joining, welcome to the show. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law, if y'all couldn't figure it. But go up top, hit the plus sign to follow for anytime I go live. All right. And I try my best to go live during the day at 12 Central, but sometimes, like tonight, if there's very important information or I'm just love to share information, I'll just go live. So let's see here. Let's see. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the roses. Moon Knight Gaming. You're waiting more than 8 years for your asylum case. So sad. Yeah, hell yeah, it's sad. We have a lot of people that contact us, even if it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. We file lawsuits for many different scenarios, but waiting for asylum interview is one of them. Waiting for asylum decision after an interview is one of them. Now, look, we're not filing lawsuit after like 3 months or something. If you're still waiting for interview, it's 4 years, is our experience. Waiting 4 years from the time you filed. If you're waiting for a decision and it's been at least a year, then we definitely file a lawsuit on that situation. And we usually get the interview around average 2 months. Interview date, average 2 months after you file a lawsuit. All right, GGXXPPXXI. You're a U.S. citizen. Your husband isn't, and has been 12 years. Okay, and you have a daughter. Congratulations to you. What's next? Well, aside from the potential announcement on Tuesday, the key question I have for you is for many of y'all, whether you're considering this new program or not, if it's going to get announced, I believe so, based on what we've seen in the news. Okay, is whether you entered the United States or not. So if you entered without a visa, without a border crossing card, without any kind of authorization before, then yes, this potential program that could be announced on Tuesday by President Biden will be beneficial for you. Okay. If your last entry in the United States was a visa with a visa, then this new program, potential program, it doesn't mean anything for you. Like you don't need to do this essentially. All right, because it does add a little bit more time, but not as much time as a waiver 601A, because that is processing for more than I think I just checked. I did check it a second ago. It was 43 months. Mina Basada on YouTube. You came to USA 3 years ago as asylum seeking asylum. You haven't got an interview yet. Can you do anything to get it? So 3 years. I would wait one more year if you want our services. We'll wait one more year to file a mandamus lawsuit. Knock on wood. So far, I've been able to get an interview date within 2 months' time after filing a lawsuit. Okay, but yeah, waiting 4 years after filing. Igor Matthias, you're welcome. All right. What's going on? So, I see this comment by this person on TikTok. Nah, it's a rush, and they will cancel it just like they did DACA. Yes and no. DACA was existing for many years before initial applicants got stopped from applying. So I wouldn't just say like it just get canceled that quickly. But if you want to be pessimistic, that's cool. But I am more, there are several other immigration lawyers on social media that pump up like certain proposed bills. I stopped sharing bills proposals for a while, for several years. I think actually since 2020, because I understand politics. Okay, I've never been in office, but I know it enough to know that something's not going to get traction. So it's like no point for me to share it. But this, folks, if I had to invest money into something related to policy, immigration policy, okay, you do your own investment, but I believe that this will happen. Okay, I'll probably punch myself in the face if this doesn't go through. But I mean, I'm just being silly, but seriously, like I really do believe this will go through because military put in place does not require Congress. That's what currently exists. Military put in place does not require Congress. So this is not much different. I mean, you don't need a military family member, but this time is married to someone and living here in the U.S. for 10 years. The other application through court, if you were in court, that is similar in a sense in 10 years is called cancellation removal. Okay, which I've heard many years ago that some lawyers may do. That some people say, well, I have more than 10 years, so put me in court or something so I can try to apply for that. That is the dumbest thing. You should not encourage yourself or have a profession encourage you to put yourself in immigration proceedings so that you can apply for something called cancellation of removal. I thought that is the saddest thing. So, come forward 10 plus years, we got this potential thing coming in on Tuesday. So again, we'll keep you all updated. Just go ahead and subscribe down below or follow up top if you want to get the real time updates here. All right, now let me go to the next question. By the way, if you have a question, you don't have to ask me or tell me you have a question. Just go straight to the question. It's all good. Don't worry. Um, oh, is this the same person that's pessimistic? They for some this person says they're forcing you to marry someone trash law being offered. No, no one's forcing you to do anything. You don't have to get married. Something I forgot to mention. I didn't really mention earlier because I don't know how concrete that one is, but it did mention like an additional line in the article mentioning that they're trying to create something that is similar to, I mean, basically to buy create a waiver application similar to the current one that was created by President Obama, the 601A. But people who want to put, let's say you're a DACA recipient, DACA holder right now, or maybe you don't have DACA at all, but you want to try to apply for a work permit like H-1B or something. But 601A requires a spouse or a parent who's a U.S. citizen or resident. And there's actually thousands of people who don't have that family relationship. I mean, they have a spouse or a parent, but maybe they don't have status. But they have a child who may be a U.S. citizen because they're born in the United States, right? So that's my prediction. If they're going to create a new waiver, at least for people who could apply for H-1B or a different non-immigrant visa, um, I'm thinking, fingers crossed, folks, and pray to all the gods that you believe in or don't believe in, that if they're going to create a new waiver program, that it has to include a child. Okay, I hate to say it. I know it's been difficult for a lot of people to conceive a baby or conceive a fetus, but I know a lot of people that don't have a spouse or a parent who have status, but they have a child who has status. Um, yeah, so I don't know why President Obama didn't think about. Maybe they thought about it, but they should have included U.S. citizen children. I thought that was ridiculous that they did. All right, so all right, King. Emma told you that your interview got waived. What's after that? I don't know how Emma knows from the USCIS website chat. That would be interesting. I hope that is true, but if that turns out to be false, unfortunately, you can't punch Emma in the face. It's just a website chat. You can't sue Emma. So I hope it works out for you. Your interview's waived. But look, folks, remember this. Traditionally, there have been interviews for marriage cases or any other residency type case. So if you get an interview scheduled, you get a notice in the mail or on your online account, it's okay. Don't freak out. Don't freak out just because, like, oh, well, I know my friend last year got interview waived, and like, why you get interview? There's no rhyme or reason. Okay, don't put too much weight on that, and that's necessarily. I mean, we know people who we helped in a second interview we filed a lawsuit for them to get moving, and they made a second interview, and it was fine. Nothing was wrong. They just maybe they lost a file. USCIS lost a file, so they want to maybe ask, unfortunately, the same questions as the first interview, or there was like a computer error. I don't know why. We get a lot of y'all in the community sharing stories that that when you did finally have a chance to go to freaking interview, that the internet is not working or something, or the computer server is not working for USCIS, and that is super frustrating. Again, world superpower, and you can't have the freaking server working. Who would have guessed? All right. All right, thanks for staying tuned. If you're still on or if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give it a follow. Click the plus sign, subscribe down below so you get the future notifications when we go live for the hot news that's hopefully coming on Tuesday. All right, Henry on YouTube, you got a bona fide determination and deferred action issue last month on the 15th. You already submitted 765 for a work permit last year. Been waiting for your work permit almost a month, but still didn't get it. So, Henry, are you talking about U visa? I mean, you don't have to review it online, but that's what I'm thinking. U visa, and we can't file lawsuits if it's been at least a year. Okay, if you're still waiting on it and they're still processing, they're claiming to processing. Let us know. Okay. All right, what's going on? I mean, I hope you all not just watching me. Hopefully, you're just like watching Netflix or something in the background at least, or the Dallas Mavericks game. Let me know what's the score of the Mavericks game. I'm not gonna check right now because I might get sad. Um, by the way, if you know someone who has an immigration question but you don't think they're live on this right now, go ahead and share my live show if you don't mind. All right, greatly appreciate it. Verendir Kaur. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name. How will this impact the green card backlog? Um, well, the green card backlog that you could be referring to is employment based. So that's different because that's a different scenario than what we're talking about right now for the proposed program that might be coming on Tuesday, because that has nothing to do about, as far as I understand, not much to do about employment based. Okay, but Verendir, if you're wondering about like employment based green cards, then that's based on the preference category. So there's always a limitation in that sense, unfortunately. Okay, and that's because that was mandated by Congress. I believe back when JFK was president. See, some historical context there that you may want a lawyer that knows that kind of information. It's kind of like going to the doctor that, I mean, no offense if you're like a physician or doctor that's younger, less experienced, but I mean, in general, I'd probably prefer someone who has, let's say, 10 years experience versus someone who has 2 years experience, right? So there's a lot of knowledge base experience that can be helpful. The same thing for immigration. All right. Try to go back in order here. Let's see. S for Gonzalez. Those have been in the U.S. for over 20 years, 65 years old. Your adult your adult children are U.S. citizens. Yeah, so hopefully, as for Gonzalez, hopefully this scenario would help. This proposed program will help you as well. I'm not sure yet, though. Uh, Chi- Chiquita, can you apply for your sibling a visa if F4 if he has cerebral palsy? So, so you could file a petition for your sibling when you're a U.S. citizen. But if your sibling is in the United States, then you definitely need to make sure that that your sibling has a parent or a spouse who's a citizen or a resident holder. Okay, so that might not apply to some people, but that's not a reason to not file the petition, because you just never know what's going to happen later on in the future. All right, let's say, just hypothetically, your sibling does marry someone who is a resident or U.S. citizen, but because you filed um, a petition a long time ago for your sibling, at least that got the process started. So you potentially could wait less time. Just putting it out there. We'll see. It's hard to predict because immigration law literally almost changes like every day, it seems like. Or at least it's always in conversation to something happen. All right, Igor Matias. DHS did not agree to dismiss your case in court, but they agreed to have it closed. Punks. Should you still try to file a motion to reopen and terminate? Um, well, it depends what. I mean, for me, I always like to try again, but it really depends, of course. I mean, typical lawyer response, but depends ultimately because when did you request that dismissal? Was it like a month ago? Maybe you wait a little bit, collect some more evidence. But let's say it was a year ago. You never know. The same person, it might be a different person reviewing your request than the past. So maybe you don't even have to file that motion quite yet, but maybe you can ask your local Department of Homeland Security attorneys first, but this time provide them more evidence because there's got to be a reason why they didn't dismiss in the first place. You got to ask them. So lately, I mean, it might not be lately, but I do know there's been more new immigration judges. There's more new attorneys with Department of Homeland Security. So what does it mean? Naturally, just because a person works for the government doesn't mean like all this legal context knowledge is osmosis into their minds. Like it takes time. And so, if the common situation when someone is married, or even we've had cases where we apply for VAWA for someone or another application, and based on what we have filed for, it appears on paper that they're eligible. Of course, for us, we know they're eligible. But for Department of Homeland Security, we want to get a dismissal. So we have to understand what is Department of Homeland Security thinking? What is their perspective? And not saying we had to give them a kitchen sink stack of evidence, but we wanted to give them the most relevant information, at least by email, so they can quickly go one, two, three through the documents and just say yes, say yes or no. If they say no, F them, and then we'll file the motion straight to the judge. Okay, you don't necessarily have to depend only on the government attorney, although that would be nice to get their agreement, to get the joint agreement, so it's easier decision for a judge. Okay. Um, Okay, you said your wife's a citizen and has a misdemeanor identity theft because the okay. Well, you don't worry, no worries. You don't have to go in that detail, but essentially, um, yeah. I mean, even though your U.S. citizen spouse has a crime from the past, for a citizen's crime to affect them for immigration case, it's related to Adam Walsh Act, and that's for crimes related to children. So your wife's situation is different. All right, let me switch back over to TikTok here. Trending tick to Trending tick to go. Almost 1 month ago, you applied for I-130, got email saying we have taken action on your case. I mean so the USCIS case status on my USCIS account is a bunch of bullshit. If they actually took action on your case, that's great. But usually, what we've noticed that it means does not mean a decision. It just means they've entered your information into the system. So that's the action they meant. Clerical typing. So let's see here. Jesse Ancheta, question about male green card holder that forgot to join selective service. Fortunately, we've been able to get some or a few clients who did not select for the join the selective service. Which, by the way, you need to. I think is like you should Google search. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, we've been able to get those those clients citizenship. Even so, selective service. I should probably record a video just about this. Well, let me share my screen if I can, at least on TikTok. I mean, YouTube and Facebook. If you're in the United States and you're a male, talk about discrimination. You're a male, 18 and 25. You got to register to be selected. Okay. It says if you're over 26, then it's too late to register. Yeah, isn't that interesting? All right, now let's go over here. All right, y'all. Sorry. I try my best to rapid fire answer, but it's hard when it's late now. What time is it? 10:26 Central. All right. Y'all are so kind who are staying on. Let's see here. Think I Hey, Fierce, if you're still on, or anyone who's asked this question, how much for a consultation? If you're interested in our services, we only charge this amount, okay, for now. It's less than a cup of coffee, but that's only if you're interested in our services. So you have the opportunity to learn more about our team, how we do things, and how we operate, our how we update you, how you can self schedule a meeting. You don't have to call in to schedule. Make it very easy for you. But if you don't want services, that's all gravy. It's all good. But you still have legal questions, want legal answers. We understand. It's our mission to point you in the right direction, if anything. So we do offer a consultation. Traditional consultation is 3 digits. It starts with number one. I can't say it aloud because this app that does this action banned me for like 5 seconds or 5 minutes before. So I don't want to take that risk. So go ahead and click the plus sign up here and follow. And you can click that zap.bio link and you'll find more information there. Or you can go to our main website, greencardguys.com. Hey, surprise drone. Let's see. What happened if you have an order removal because you never went to court and went and came in 2005? Never went to court. And now you're married to a citizen. Ooh, might be tough on surprise drone. Okay. So there's a limited exception to reopen cases. And for the situations when specifically when you did not show up to court, it's based on lack of notice. So if you didn't know about it and let's say you moved, but you did update the court that you moved, then you have an opportunity to reopen it. We were at one case similar to this that came to mind that we were able to reopen is that client applied for TPS through a notary. That all the addresses were the notary's office. Client never got a copy of the notice of hearing to immigration court. Was ordered absentia on the day of the freaking hearing or the day after. The notary's office called that client, and that's when the client was like, "F you, let me call John Ting." So we got that reopened, shared the story, had the client. We wrote up the affidavit, they wrote it up. We verified it, gave tips on it, got the case reopened. But not everyone has. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but essentially the main thing is like you got lack of notice or you didn't get the notice, I guess. That's the first question. All right, Denise, what's up? You is paying a fine, no conviction, insurance license case an issue when filing for AOS? Concern is wording says fraud. Oh, dang. Well, yeah, we don't like that wording fraud, but ultimately, I can answer this in part because the other part I can't answer because I don't know. First of all, I don't know what state you're in, but I'm assuming it's not in Texas. But my quick response on that, Denise Rodriguez, is first it depends on the typical lawyer answer. It depends on the classifications. Like misdemeanor, I'm suspecting it's a misdemeanor, maybe a C. We said no conviction. Oh, no conviction. Now that's fine then. There's no conviction. You're only paying a fine. So it sounds like more of a traffic violation in that sense. And that's usually, at least in Texas, that's a class C misdemeanor. Okay. But you said no conviction. You just paid a fine. And is it like no contest or something? Uh, but of course, if you just want to absolutely verify, then you should definitely talk to someone one on one. Paper says consent form. I don't. I'm sure I've seen something like that before, but I can't like without looking at it for you right now on the spot. Then it's hard for me to say. Um, hmm. But yeah, if it's more like traffic violation, then and it's not definitely not class A misdemeanor, then in general, That's part of our structure that we look at. All right. Henry, is it easy to adjust U visa to permanent resident? What is required to apply? I mean, there's a lot of things required to apply for that residency based on U visa. I mean, they even include a requirement of every single page of your passport, every single page, even if there's no travel stamps on it. I don't understand why. It's just one of those antiquated old requirements. But here's a tip, okay, folks. I'm all about sharing tips. If you are applying for residency based on U visa, or if you plan to, okay, U visa is for 3 years. It's only for 3 years. So you wait a second. Now I'm getting tripped up. Maybe it's 4 years. Oh God. Let me double check this. It's 4 years. Okay, it's 4 years. But you don't want to wait to file for a residency. Okay. You don't want to wait past 3 years. You can't file earlier than 3 years, but you don't want to wait past 3 years. Okay. There's a limited exception where like if you like we had a situation where we filed too early on accident because we filed for the other family members, but they didn't get all approved originally in the same time for the U visa, so the timing is a bit off. Um, then when we finally got a chance to refile, it was technically a little bit late, right? And back and forth with all the evidence. This is a long time ago, so obviously we have much better systems now. If we call the client every day now, if we don't have the certain evidence, um, instead of taking the client's word for it. But limited exceptions, okay? So you got to get it done. Timing is some of y'all don't know this, but a lot of things are timing based, okay, with immigration. That you don't want to miss the deadline. All righty. All right. I switched back and forth on different platforms. What's going on? Hey, Fierce, I see you now. Okay. All right. I hope everyone's doing well. By the way, if you're still on and you haven't, how long have I been on the show? Oh my God, 1 hour. If you're still on, much love to you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Go ahead and click the screen, tap the screen on TikTok if you haven't already before you fall asleep. I mean, I sound a little tired. I to be honest, I am a little tired, so it's past my bedtime. But if you're on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and give it a thumbs up or hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Apparently, it helps with the algorithm. They say. Um, Diddy, Diddy. Diddy. You got. Is that your name? P Diddy, Puff Daddy's done some bad things, man. Okay, Diddy, I don't know what your question is. I'm sorry. You might have to. I'm just scrolling. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it at all. Maybe you thought you typed it. I don't see something hidden. Okay, there you go. Okay. You've been here, and since then you haven't. Oh, you've been here the whole time. I haven't answered your question. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anything hidden. Sorry, Diddy. Maybe TikTok doesn't like your question. I don't know. I didn't see it. I'm scrolling again. Well, why not just type out your question again? Is it that long? I've literally gone through every question on TikTok, I'm pretty sure. I mean, some y'all copy and pasted. I mean, there might be at least 2 or 3 people I missed on accident, but I don't see Diddy's prior question. I'm sorry, buddy. Let me scroll down. But you gotta hit me up with a rose, Diddy. Alright, there we go, there we go. Don't worry. Anyone else I missed, I'll try my best on TikTok and YouTube. Your wife has been waiting 3 months? From what? And you're a US citizen? Since filing 485, or what did you file so far? Yo, I'm serious. I scrolled all the way up. I didn't see anything from Diddy before, but I'm happy to answer now. In the meantime, let me answer the other person that asked. Hey, Amani, nice to see you. Hope you're doing good. Amani, I think South African case. Hope everything's okay with that one. Okay, okay. Still waiting for the certificate. Okay. Hopefully it works out for you. We'll be on standby if you need us, okay? That's the thing, folks. Like, not you don't always need our you might not need our services, but if you follow our channel, you never know. You never know if you need our services. And I mean, hopefully you don't. Did he come back to me, man? Or sorry, I don't mean to say man because I don't know your gender, but did he share more information? Because I don't know your question is technically. um, well, Amani, well, thank you so much for not forgetting us. It could, I hate to say it, but some people don't think of South Africa about this. Maybe that's what they're asking for, unfortunately, to process it faster. Diddy, thanks for the light, but what's your question? I wanna know your question so I can answer it. Shivani Krishna 2, your I-130 said active review. What do you think will be next step? Well, what when did you file your petition? By the way, folks, if you would like me to answer your question about like what's the next step, please share when you filed your case, um, what stage of the case that you understand your case is low at right now. But folks, in general, anything that says like actively review your case is bull is BS. Okay, because when we review during a certain after his like 3 months on a case, we check every month for a client. All right, so there's been times when it would continue to say actively reviewed case actively being reviewed for several months, and it's like, really? Does an officer really have the case file open every day for the past 2 or 3 months? That's not true, right? I mean, otherwise, if there truly is that situation, they would send you an RFE probably. Um, hopefully, I share some context there. But I also need the same thing. I need no more. I need more information. Hey, thanks, for Mishka for even offering to connect. In this day and age, it's hard to share information when you don't know where someone else is located. So thanks for doing that. Um, who else did I miss? K Dunar 98. Can someone file Am I that tired that I'm just like blabbering words? K1. Can someone file a K1 form while their N600 is still being processed? Um, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so because N600 is not. Let me check it. N600 is to replace a certificate, if I believe. Let me just verify real quick. Is that right? So if the person doesn't have a copy of certificate of naturalization at all, I think that's the purpose of N600, if I can remember. I mean, it's like late at night right now. So, but yeah, when you file a K1 form, the I-129F, you need to show proof you're a citizen. So you might have to wait. Okay, Shivani Krishna filed in November 2023. I'm assuming petition only. So if that's the case, then you still got quite a while because now it's mid-June 2024. Well, I mean, it depends if you file for your spouse and where your spouse is located. So I suspect your spouse is abroad. So I would expect 12 months, okay? Unfortunately. For Diddy says, thanks, somebody. Have a good evening. Diddy says, you're typing your question. You don't know why I'm not seeing it. Well, now I see your second one, I guess. Your last one here. Your wife visa was approved at interview. Let's see this. If you type something like that earlier, I did not see that. I think my eyes are okay at this hour. Your vice visa was approved at interview, but put into admin processing while you're waiting. And I think you said earlier you were waiting, or she's waiting 3 months. Let me scroll back down. Yeah, you said 3 months. Okay, so did they ask for anything else after? Um, so yeah, there's a lot of people that actually say like the visa officer said approved, but I'm sorry, it's not actually approved. Okay, just because they say something, they verbally said something. We've also talked to people who contact us, said officer said approved and signed something, but then unsigned it because they realized something else. So, and maybe your spouse, likely your spouse didn't do anything wrong. That's why some of y'all get stressed out, like, oh, what the heck did we do wrong? They said approved. At the end of the day, you're waiting for online, the ceac.state.gov portal to show. I see y'all's comments on YouTube. I'll get to y'all soon, but this is interesting. Okay, Diddy, this sounds new. They gave your wife a letter of visa approval and still have her passport. Oh, okay, okay. For some reason, I thought I was interpreting for a second that the visa is in her passport. So I know in the past I thought, oh, they have your passport. That's a good indication. No, it's bullshit. It doesn't matter. Some people we've talked to that said the consulate embassy has been holding the passport like 6+ months. So just having her passport means nothing, unfortunately. Um, but if they gave letter of visa, I mean, ultimately, I mean, I'm sure it's been 3 months. I'm sure you or your spouse has already contacted, emailed the embassy or consulate. But if they reply back, it's usually just BS. They just probably continue still undergoing background check or blah blah blah, something very similar. It's very ridiculous. So you just have to look back. I mean, that's part of what a strategy session with us is just verify. But happy to share right now for a little bit is basically if your spouse had been in the U.S. before, we try to look at any possible reason that they could potentially revoke that visa or not issue one at all, or just keep it in processing. Now, the other thing is that look, if your spouse is from the Middle East, U.S. government, they tend to discriminate people from the Middle East. I don't know. I don't know. Did you get wind of that before? But I don't know where your spouse is national of. But I could, just putting things out there. All right. Don't like to speculate. Or don't want to. You okay, Amelia on YouTube? You have an asylum application pending for 3 years. You haven't heard anything except that they received it. Well, I'm glad that they sent you receipt notice. Some people haven't received that yet themselves. Um, if you when you wait to 4 years and you're still waiting for visa asylum interview, give us a call. Okay, we can file a mandamus lawsuit. But so far, if you just want a free guide about it, you can actually go to our link down below, Amelia, or anyone else who's interested in mandamus lawsuit. You go to our ZAAP link. Okay, then I realize this thing is backwards for y'all, but it's so bright. This light is so bright right there. Okay. You said, by the way, you're from Florida. Okay, cool. Where in Florida? I've been getting a lot of TikToks about people on my feed. People talking about Florida, how it's like so expensive there. Absolutely happy to share information. Melody, which is best to file a parent sponsorship married child who's already, or a parent wanting to sponsor married child who's already in the U.S. or filing for asylum? Well, I mean, if the married child, adult child is um, has a claim of fear of the country of nationality, then yes, go ahead and file for asylum. But is that the easiest? No. Even people who believe they have the strongest case might not be approved just because, depending on how the officer interprets the situation. okay, or the confidence level of the applicant. Um, so I would still file, in general, I would still file for I-130. And if there's a, I guess you could say, quote unquote, decent claim of asylum, then file the 589 application as well. It doesn't, just because you file one application doesn't mean you can't file another a different application. Okay, there's no rule about that. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, I think you get this Melody. You understand that there's a family preference category. So I believe F3, um, for your adult child, married adult child. So it could take a while. First step is petition. Priscilla, back to Diddy on TikTok. I am interested if you don't mind sharing somehow, or if you can email us at weecare@johntinglaw.com. WECARE at John Ting with a T, johntinglaw.com. Okay, because I am interested in what this letter of visa approval looks like, especially that you're still in admin processing. Priscilla, can getting fingerprint record at the border ruin one's chance of any legal status? Well, why do you need to get the record? If you haven't, if your last, yeah, because I just wouldn't do that. What are you trying to? Why? Why do you need that record, Priscilla? Because if you're going through a 601A form, waiver form, and you filed it, um, you need that to be approved before you leave. Okay. Um, so yeah, if it's a consular processing case, yeah, eventually you needed to get the criminal record, but you can always get it after the fact when your visa interview is scheduled. And so that's the thing, folks. These are some quote unquote small things that an experienced immigration law firm would tell you so that you have peace of mind to not do these things that can further risk your status or ability to get legal status. Uh, Did he do I think you should file a lawsuit? No, not 3 months. We wait for consular processing. We wait minimum 6 months. Your wife is from Rwanda, not even Muslim. Yeah. Um, I was thinking about another country that's I mean, yeah, some African countries are slow, but Rwanda we haven't heard much in that sense. Priscilla, your husband got caught 2 times. Ooh, got 2 times at the border. Well, hopefully the prior 2 times were something called like voluntary, or what we call voluntary return versus voluntary departure. It's two different definitions. They told him it'll erase after 10 years. Well, yeah, it would erase after 10 years if your spouse had not entered again into America. That's the thing. And he said, everyone we've gone to said he has no chance of any legal status. Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right, even without knowing much more information. So, so in that sense, there's no point in getting the criminal record if that's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying? Criminal record or just record, immigration record? Oh, okay, okay. Um, you know what, folks? I started the show more than an hour ago, talking about President Biden's possible announcement on Tuesday about parole in place for married people. There is no information quite yet if could include someone like Priscilla's situation or Priscilla's husband's situation. I suspect it won't include that situation for people who have permanent bar. Um, but you never know. We'll see. He's been here for 11 years. Well, congratulations on your marriage for at least 10 years, I'm assuming at least. Congrats on making a decade. Am I at a decade? 2015. I'm almost at a decade also. Hey, y'all, if you're married and you're still on the show, put in the letter M All right, for married. Yeah. Can I give you a high five on this thing? Oh no, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. I know there's someone I missed here. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Melody, did I answer yours? Yeah. Jesse, is there a chance that they can file for citizenship if they forgot to file selective services? Yeah, can still get citizenship as possible. John Macau, business here in America. You also have 5-year asylum pending case. How can you get green card? Well, you can't get the green card yet. You got to get approved for asylum first. And so to get approved for asylum, of course, number one, you got to have a credible claim, among other things, other requirements. But even John, you've been waiting for 5 years. You meet our requirement of minimum 4 years waiting time. Let's talk about filing a mandamus lawsuit for you. Okay. Knock on wood. Let me do it again. Every single case we filed based on waiting for an interview for asylum seekers. We got the interview date within 1 to 3 months. Okay. So for anyone who's interested in our services, you have, and for this specific situation, you have to anticipate on having the asylum interview that quickly. So when we sue the government, you can't tell me, and we tell you the interview date. You can't tell me, you say, "Hey, bro, can you reschedule that?" No, because you authorize us to sue the government to get your interview date sooner. So, with that being said, if you don't have an asylum attorney, you got to get one soon. And so, we have a close network that we can refer you. Okay. I can share one of their names right now. You've probably seen his YouTube, TikTok, on TikTok as well. Brian Manning is his name. He used to be a USCIS asylum officer. Um, but I know he's busy. His law firm is busy. So if you can't reach out, if he doesn't, you don't get through to him in time, we can share other professionals as well, other lawyers. Let's see. Gianpaolo, I think I recognize your name from earlier. Sorry, I don't think I got a chance to answer your question earlier. Your company is relocating. Will that affect your EB3? And where are you? You're perm approved, waiting to file the I-140. Perm approved already. So I remember everything up until that time period, you have to put in your location. But I-140 is more about the relationship between you as an employee and the employer. And the other main focus for USCIS is that they still have the ability to pay you. So company relocating, I would say, is not an issue. It's more about the funds. Okay. So our team has read the appellate decisions where people, it's pretty wild how some people get denied, and one of them is like because a company structure wasn't structured in a way that could show proof of money. So I thought that was pretty wild that there was no conversation about that beforehand before going through the whole process. And I was even more surprised that there was even uh, an attempt to appeal. But you never know, I guess. So we learn from others. That's one way that we improve our services. Brittany, did I answer yours? Okay, Diddy. Well, hopefully that works out for you. We're here if you need us, but maybe you don't. And because you also said she was told that she'll be notified in a few days to collect when to collect visa. I wish her the best. And come on back whether it works out or not. Come on back in a live show and keep us updated, okay? Diddy. All right, a lot of M's there. You all married. Priscilla, you're welcome. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Okay. Brittany K. What's up, Brittany? You got an I-130 still processing, and your husband has mailed in the paper for 45. How long does it take for notification regarding 45? So the first one is a receipt notice. Okay. Once you get that receipt notice, that starts the process. And then after that is a biometrics notice that where they take his fingerprints. I mean, he has to go to an office. It's basically subcontracted out by the government, but uh, you as a petitioner, sponsor, Brittany, you don't have to do that. It's only for your husband. Okay. Um, but yeah, you filed 45, so that means your husband is eligible for adjustment of status, I presume. So hopefully your case is approved without a waiver, or if they're, I mean, not without an interview. Okay, see, it's late, man. I'm getting tired. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, that was confusing for me for a second. See, I am tired. Oh man, you're welcome, Brittany. You were saying how she was told that during the interview. Gotcha. Yeah, these officers tell people a lot of things like that, unfortunately, especially abroad. It's ridiculous. Look up and there's some comments on YouTube. What's up? Hey, Mala, good to see ya. Melody, thank you. So, can you file for asylum after 1 year? Ooh, after 1 year of staying, change your status from B1 to F1, and how can you get work authorization? Well, the 1 year thing, I mean, ideally, you file it within 1 year of entry, but you filed it within 1 year. If you change your status, that should be fine. But again, I don't practice asylum. Um, we're happy to refer you someone. If you need attorney for asylum, okay, folks, if you're still on, um, email me at or my team will respond. But put in a subject line asylum attorney, okay? And I'll tell my team. I'll make a note. Tell my team quickly here after the show to email you the list of our referrals for asylum attorneys. So email to WeCare, WECARE. Let me see if I can put that in. Oh, my team's gonna hate me for this. We're trying to update our email to be WeCare@greencardguys.com, but I don't know if it works yet. So just use this one for now. Okay. Um, and we'll send you a referral list on that. Okay. No, but you said how soon to get work permit after filing for asylum. I believe the rule is you can apply for 180 days, either 150 or 180. I think it's 180 days after you file for asylum. But that doesn't mean you're going to get approved for the work permit in that same time period. It's just, yeah, it's just a ridiculous process. Um, Gian Paulo, if follow up, if the I-140 is approved, does it matter? You're talking about the location of the company? I don't believe so. Because after that is about the 45, which is all about you, not the company. Annie, Annie, your I-130 is still pending from September 2022. Any help? Married to a U.S. citizen? Oh, damn. What the? Are you, Annie? Are you eligible for adjustment of status? Are you eligible for adjustment status? I'm assuming you're not eligible for adjustment status, Annie. So that's why you may only have the I-130. So yeah, in general, I-130 standalone I-130 generally does take longer, but not that long. We're in mid-June 2024. So what is that, like a year and a half for you? That's too long. And you're married to a citizen. So let's chat. If you're interested in mandamus lawsuit, again, y'all, hopefully you don't have any delays on your case. But if you do, or if you think you do, and you just want to make sure, contact us, okay? Don't be shy, all right? Because we do have that option one on our link, option number one. You just got to pay this amount, okay? It's less than a cup of coffee from Starbucks or wherever. Actually, I think pretty much wherever. It's almost like $10 everywhere. But oh shoot, I said a price. Um, if you just want verification, or you can download a free guide. I believe it has a chart on a free guide. Andy, you said you were in a withholding removal proceeding asylum. Oh, interesting. You said you were. So is your court case dismissed? So that is the problem. That is the problem. It seems like If a court case is not dismissed, maybe that's why it's just being held up on accident, and USCIS is just being stuck. Okay, and so then sometimes that happens. So contact us. Okay, click on the link below. That's interesting. The longer I go live on these channels, more people show up. At least on YouTube. But yo, I'm getting tired. To be honest with y'all. All right, so Kent, you're a green card holder. But thanks for joining. Kent, you're a green card holder. Oh, TikTok just told me great job. I've gone live for 90 minutes. It says don't forget to take a break. Come on, TikTok. Of course I can't take a break right now. Get real. Okay. All right, Ken, you're a green card holder. Your fiance has H-1B. You're planning to get married. Okay. First, congratulations on your decision to get married. Can you adjust her status to green card? No. I mean, you can. I'm sorry. You can. But it's going to take a long time. And the chart you want to follow, because you can file a petition as a green card holder. That's not the issue. But well, I mean, it can be because that can still take a while. That can still take 12 months minimum. And then the second thing is the next phase of the process is based on the visa bulletin. So your fiance has H-1B actually. So you're maintaining status H-1B. That's great. So it can be in the U.S. in the meantime. But you still have to follow the Chart B. Okay, early filing action date, I think is what they call it. Chart B on the visa bulletin. So check that out. Okay. And I do have a video on YouTube of talking about it. If you maybe search visa bulletin, I know I need to probably update. It's probably like 3 years old. By the way, if you're still on TikTok, much love to y'all. Go ahead and give it a follow because I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers on TikTok. So if you're on YouTube and you got TikTok, please give it a follow there. Let me go ahead and share my channel. And that's because at least on TikTok, apparently if I get to 10,000 followers, then it allows my team and I to create a playlist of videos so that you don't just see all those silly videos. You get some more practical tips, okay? So I greatly appreciate any follows on TikTok, especially, and YouTube and Facebook. But more importantly, TikTok. So again, playlist ability. Appreciate it. All right, let's see other questions here. Damilaire, that's a Nigerian flag, right? Hello, what is the process for a VAWA case inquiry? Your case been Damilaire, 46 months? I don't know if have you talked to our team yet? Because minimum is 36 months. Minimum 3 years. It shouldn't take that long for you, okay? Let's talk. Talk to our team. Let's see if we can help you out. What if I do this to the light? Is it too dark if I do that? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Why does it look that? That's weird. Okay, well, let's just keep the light on then. All right. Annie, you got a court date in August. Okay. Well, hopefully you have an attorney to help you out. Okay, Annie? Because that can certainly be helpful. Danielle, do you have any news about a possible executive order that affects foreign-born healthcare workers that want to immigrate to U.S.? No, I don't have information on that, but I'll keep you updated if something comes down the line. But Danielle, I don't believe that's a priority right now. I believe the pro in place announcement's taking priority right now. Did you hear something, Danielle, that's coming in pipeline on that? Or are you just hoping for it? Because I get a lot of requests about people hoping for something, but it's not actually coming through. Keep me updated, okay? All right, y'all. I think I covered everyone who's still on. So, with that being said, appreciate y'all. Much love, okay? I need to get some rest. All right. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. TGIF. And Dan Miller, your attorney keeps saying you should just wait, but it keeps getting frustrated. Yeah, you don't have to wait. Let's talk, okay? We just want to share information, okay? You can make your own decision. And the other thing about that, like if you have a case delayed, or you think your case is delayed, and your attorney's like, no, keep waiting, keep waiting. Processing time says this. You don't have to wait necessarily what the processing time schedule says on USCIS website because they can make that shit up. We think that there's some aggregated data, but it could be completely made up on purpose. It could just be a webmaster behind the scenes, like messing with us like a puppet master. So no, you don't just. I mean, it depends on the scenario, right? I mean, it just depends, but yeah, hopefully it gives you some context. And also, not every immigration attorney helps with mandamus, so they might not have that knowledge base. All right. Um, if you, how do you schedule? So you can click the link. You're on TikTok, so you can click up here wherever the plus sign is. Follow. Um, I recognize your picture, so maybe you already follow, but appreciate the follow. But go ahead and schedule. Click the and you go to profile. Click the link below my picture, the Zap but that bio. If you're interested in our services, you can pay this amount to reserve a spot to learn more about us. Or if you're just like, no, I just want to learn more in general, but not going to hire, then we do have a traditional consult fee that's 3 digits. Starts with number one. Okay. All right. One more question here, and then I got a jet. Hit the sack. Take, can a prior marriage of a U.S. citizen spouse affect green card case? She filed her for X years ago. It could. Depends on what happened on the case. But we've had plenty of people who marry like a second or third person, and it's been fine in that sense. Okay, so it just depends on the facts, because of course there's not many character spots to share more info. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, and y'all know what to do. Tap it for a few seconds, like and follow. All right, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Peace.